Hi guys, happy Monday! Oh my gosh, what an amazing weekend it was. Just got back from San Francisco, T100. It was freezing out there. I can only speak for myself, but I can't imagine jumping off a boat into 53-degree water and then getting on a bike and riding so fast. So congratulations to everyone who either did the T100 professional triathlon in San Francisco this weekend, or all you amazing age groupers that escaped from Alcatraz. Amazing. So yeah, it was a good weekend all the way around. Super fun and so impressive where the athletes are. And I think just before we get going with Mobility Monday, it's really important, and we can relate to ourselves on this. It's really important to note that you're only going to get better from here. If you're here at Mobility Monday, it's because you care about the big picture, right? Either you're live or you're doing this later today or later in the week. You're looking big picture. And when you look big picture, you know that all these little doses of mobility and tissue care and health, attention to your overall health, will come back to you either in a race or just in life, that you'll feel better. So just congratulations to that. Don't be impatient and just be part of and enjoy the process. So Mondays are really important to me, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate those of you that show up live, but I also really appreciate the fact that, and I do look like by the end of the day, how many people have seen value in the work that I'm bringing to everybody. So you should by now kind of have a space, right? A space where you do your mobility or where you do your strength. This is my space. I also go to work at a gym. Sometimes I try and bang out a few sets while I'm at work or in between clients. But here I keep my percussion tool, my Theragun, my mini junior here, and I also keep all my foam rollers and yoga blocks and the like. So as per usual, we're starting with the lower part of the body, because if the feet ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. We're going to use a combination of the foam roller and the percussion gun today. So what we're doing here, we're using a little bit of body weight pressure, and we're just moving throughout the bottom part of the calf muscle. A little bit of body weight pressure. I had a good weekend, not only of training, but also standing. So it definitely, I feel this just a little bit, and it's very dull. And dull, achy is different than feeling pretty much nothing. Like if you don't train, your tissue, it doesn't break down, and then it doesn't heal, and it doesn't get stronger. So the whole concept is to break it down so it'll heal, and heal in a more resilient, stronger way. So we're just below the calf muscle. We're just using a little bit of pressure, trying to get some fluid moving, trying to create some space between tissue, and that specific tissue would be skin, fascia, muscle, and then bone, right? So we're just nice and easy here. Through the bottom part, everything under the calf. Then we're going to take the percussion tool, turn it on. Doesn't have to be on high. You don't have to beat the crap out of it. And we're just lightly working through the calf, through the belly of the muscle, letting the tool do its job. And the whole goal here, again, tissue hydration and just any kind of disruption and any kind of potential tightness down the road. So we're just using that for one side. And I'm not shortening the duration because of the show, right? So just know that when we use the percussion tool, you don't have to beat it to death. You just want to disrupt tissue. So we're just going nice and easy, and we're lightly letting the tool do its job. Just nice and easy. There's a time and a place to go break up adhesions and whatnot, but I don't think today is that's what we're after. We're just after nice hydration of tissue. We want to feel that it's gliding and sliding. All right, good. Let's hit the other side one more time. Just nice and easy. I've got the Theragun Junior here on low. Different tools will have different speeds. It should feel like you're feeling it, but not, it doesn't hurt. Like it feels nice, right? It's like someone's just giving you a little Swedish massage, which also has a place. When you get body work, you don't have to get the crap beat out of you every single time. Okay, nice and easy and good. All right, let's shut that bad boy off. We're gonna work towards anterior lateral, so the front part of the hip. And this is going to give us the pathway to activate and utilize glutes. Big concept, reciprocal inhibition. I believe in it. I see it work. It's my jam for sure. So if there's tightness on the front side of the hip, your glutes will underperform, period. And we just know that this is definitely the quads now. I'm right at the top. I'm on that musculotendinous joint. So tendons attach muscles to bone, and right here, there's definitely tightness in the anterior capsule on my left side, right here, and just working through that nice and easy with the foam roller, using the weight of my body to hopefully disrupt the tissue and signal a release in tension and a release in length. Good? All right, let's go to the other side, anterior, front side, and lateral. So right in here. On the right side, working through that. Not so bad on my right side, interesting. And I'm not going to overreact on that, but I do take note whether my left side is a little more, maybe under duress would be the right word, I don't know. But just pay attention. Sometimes I write that down, sometimes I don't. But if I got on the bike and I had power meters that told me left, right, and my right side was like at 42 and my left side was at 68 or 58, sorry. I might take note of that and do a little more single leg work and just hold each leg accountable. All right, good. Now, this time we're going to put a little bit of tension in the muscle when we use the percussion tool. If you do not have a percussion tool, you can use your foam roller to just work through the muscle, okay? If you have your percussion tool, if you don't have one, they're a good investment. You don't have to spend a lot of money anymore because there's lots of options. Now we're going to go into that half kneeling position and start to use the percussion tool with a little bit of tension in the muscle, in that big quad, right? Just, again, the goal here is just to disrupt tissue in a very easy way. Move, move, move. Good. About that much time, 30 to 40 seconds. And then we'll go on the other side. Half kneeling position and just working through the quad. So if you wish your tool was with you, maybe just hit pause and you can just pick it up later and go get it. But from now on, let's leave the percussion tool in your space. So if it's sitting by your Barca lounger, by the TV, that's not a bad place. You might need two. Just nice and easy. Working through that quad. And good. All right. So next one, we're going to forego the foam roller. You could very easily use the foam roller on the back side of the body, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use the countertop. I'm 6 feet tall, so it works for me, but you might need a chair if you're a little bit smaller. You're just going to put that left foot up. You're going to take that percussion tool. Just by putting the foot up, we've added tension to this glute. So right there, we're just going to move in and out and work the percussion tool through the glute. And again, just looking to add nice, gentle tension into the muscle and a little bit of disruption using the percussion tool. Good. Just about the same amount of time, 30 seconds. We're good. And in many ways, or in all ways, it's actually a little bit easier on your nervous system to have less pressure on the glute. And for some people, that might actually work better. So if you put intense pressure, i.e. your body weight, into tissue, sometimes it just fights back. And then you actually get the opposite effect. So just working through the glute. And again, if you don't have a percussion tool, you can either just get into this front foot elevated position, or you can just use the foam roller. Oop, okay, let's get rid of that. And from right here, we're gonna go into that wide stance, and we're just working through the belly. Remember, the psoas muscle comes from the inside of the thigh, up interior part of the hip, attaches to the pelvis via that iliacus muscle. All you kids out there, remember all the muscles that you're learning in the body. And it comes all the way up here into the belly. So we can just kind of check on that origination of the psoas muscle with just alternating reaches. Just nice and up. We're not going way into the back seat. We're not trying to touch the wall behind us. We're just going up, 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 and up. And just pulling the ribs off the hips. The other thing that the psoas muscle will do is laterally flex. So we're just getting that little bit of motion on one side, little bit of motion on the other side. 3, 4, we really played with this last week. 5, 6, just a little shift, and then reach across. 7, 8, 9, and 10, and good. From right there, let's take the right foot behind the left foot. We're working down that lateral line through the TFL, the lateral part of the hip bone. So if you just take that hip bone, let's do that little anatomy lesson again. Inside of the hip bone, iliacus. Outside of the hip bone, TFL, tensor fascia lata. So TFL, iliacus. And right here, we're just adding that little bit of shift to the right and a little bit of reach to the left. And it doesn't have to go too far. We just want to get it gliding and sliding. On the back side of the body, you're actually getting QL, a little bit of quadratus lumborum there. So just nice and easy, and we just want to move it gently. Okay, left leg behind right. We're going to shift to the left and just reach overhead. Whoa, balance. So that balance isn't usually like a brain thing. It sometimes is, but it's usually tightness in a muscle that's keeping us from feeling competent in a range of motion. There we go. Now, get a little more stable. And once you're stable, once your body senses safety, it's going to give you a little bit more motion. Good. And think about what strength is. Strength is safety. So if your body senses safety, you're going to get more speed and more motion. It's kind of fun. Okay? So let's go down onto that half kneeling position. We're going to work that hip hinge to the back, reach to the front. We'll do 1 set of 10 on each side. So hips to the back, keep your eyes up, chest up, and then 10 fingertips to the ground. And then hip to the front. Hips all the way to the back. Your lead leg, we're almost going to straighten it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm definitely getting some high hamstring there. 7, so I'm not forcing it, I'm just paying attention. 8, 9, and 10, and then other side. Push the hips back, reach to the front. This the right side I get a little more in the belly of the muscle. Left side I get a little more high hamstring. That would tell me that my left pelvis, my left side of the pelvis might be a little bit stuck. So we'll work on that in just a second. 2, 3, I'm not saying yours is stuck, but I am saying that I have a difference, and if there's a difference and one's going high hamstring and one's going belly of the hamstring, probably means that the pelvis is decoupled and moving on the right, maybe not so much on the left. Good. And good. All right, so if we want the pelvis to get moving, the best way to do that is happy hips. So let's have a seat on the ground, spread those feet nice and wide, drop the hips to one side, and then the other side. So right here, the direction of the intention is away from the hip through the knee. Think about creating space through the hip. And then same thing on this side. And as I focus on my left side, I definitely sense just a little bit of tension. So what I'm going to do is just drop into the right, and it drops. It's nice. It goes there. Drop into the left. I got to work a little bit. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time. Let's take that left side. We'll do both sides, okay? So we've got 90 degrees, 90 degrees. We're going to take this top hip, and all we want to do is take the midline and back. Midline, back. 3, 4, we're going to do 10 each side. We'll do both sides. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you think about it, like I've been spending more time on my bicycle when I'm at home, but I just spent 4 days in San Francisco where all I did was run. So things change when the activity changes. Okay, right side, across. And I definitely feel that as my left hip goes into internal rotation as well. Feel a little bit of tightness in the left hip as I'm working my right. So focus is on the right, but I'm getting a nice little stretch on the left as well. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's switch that into some reaches. So we're going to go right leg on the bottom, 90, 90, and take the left arm and just reach down and across. Good. Start to get that breath going. Good. And one more. Good. It's not static stretching Monday, right? It's mobility Monday. So we're going to move. We're going to move through it. We're going to get some heat built up in the body. We're going to get some blood flow going through the body. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Right arm, left leg low. Nice big reach. Oh, 1. You can start to see tightness in the left hip might mean a little bit of overaction and a little bit maybe reaction on the right side QL. QL goes from the pelvis up to the bottom rib. So it definitely is part of the conversation around decoupling and freedom in the hips. But it's not unusual that when your left hip is a little bit tight, your right QL is going to go to work a little bit and switch on. Maybe cause a little bit of a problem. So that's why this mobility is so important. I think that's 8 or 9. We'll do 2 more. 1 and 1 more. And 2. Good. Let's go back to that half kneeling position. If you happen to have a mirror near you or one you can look in later, when you go into your half kneeling position, you should have a flat hip here. So if your hip is stuck back here, see if you can just bring it forward. You should not feel a pointy hip bone. You should feel a flat hip bone. My left pelvis is in neutral. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of an active glute fire to see if we can just shift this front side forward. So keep your eyes up, don't look down, you shouldn't need to. Right hand is on left hip. Left hand is on left butt. And all we're going to do is actively fire left glute. See if we can get that little bit of tension out of the left hip. And then we're going to drop it forward. Let that hip become tight, or excuse me, hip become pointy. And then pull it back up. Actively fire left butt. Come back. Actively fire left butt. Good. And that glute activation should be getting stronger and stronger every rep. Good. And let's go 2 more here. Fire that left glute. Good. Last one. Fire left glute. And nice. Same thing on the other side, okay? So we're going to go right knee down. Left hand on the right hip. Right hand on right butt. Eyes up. Head is in a nice strong position. We're going to actively fire the right butt. Whew. That adds a lot of tension into my right quad. 2, fire it. Good. 3, fire it. Fire left, right butt. Good, couple more. Good. Good. And good. All right, let's go ahead and come back up into that standing position. We're going to do that right foot behind left. From right there, we pull the ribs off the hips with a nice big breath. And just that same big side bend. 2, shift to the right, reach to the left. I use this as yin and yang, yin and yang arms. So to really emphasize that shift to the right, I'm just going to let that left arm come low and right arm come high. Good, and we're loading that lateral line. TFL turns into IT band. So if you're tight IT band, you want to be able to shift laterally through the hips. Start that motion through a muscle rather than a big, thick band of fascia and connective tissue, right? That's your IT band is very alive with the central nervous system, but it's not got a lot of gushy muscular fibers in it. Okay, left leg behind right. We're going to use those yin and yang arms. So we're just going to shift left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And good. All right, let's go into that wide stance. I want you to go wide enough that you can actually touch the ground. We're going to toggle the hips in a hinge to the back, and we're just going to grab the floor. We got last set here, just nice and easy. Nice wide stance, toggle the hips, 2 into the back seat, 3, 4, just bilateral loading, 5 of the back side of the body, the back line, 7, 8, 9, and on 10, we're staying down there. Get down there and stay there. If you need to add a yoga block, add a yoga block to bring you up a little bit. And we're just going to arm trace up and come back. So we're just dragging one side against the other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to stop that one at 8. And good. I got one more thing for you. And we just want to take that, either a yoga block. Most of y'all have a foam roller, so let's use the foam roller. We're going to set the knee on the foam roller. Belt buckle is almost to the floor. You can go into TV time with your upper body. And we're just going to work internal rotation of the right side. So active motion, not a lot of resistance. Sometimes when I'm with my kids, my athletes, I'll actually add very, very low resistance just so they can really feel. So I would put my foot or my hand right on the ankle, but very lightly, maybe 2 or 3 fingers just to hold so they could really feel what internal rotation, active internal rotation feels like. It's not you need to go into internal rotation. You need active muscles to get into internal rotation, but typically it's passive. And it's those muscles are accepting internal rotation of the hip rather than causing internal rotation of the hip. It's gravity that pulls us into internal rotation when we're running. So we need to be able to accept it. We need to be able to go there. That's it. And if you're measuring, I'm pretty even. It's because I'm riding more than I'm running. Running is where you can sometimes exceed tissue tolerance if you don't have great run form, and these internal rotating muscles will just really shut down and not allow you to move much. You guys, as usual, really appreciate you showing up and attending. I'm not sure what's coming up next. I know in 8 weeks or so we have the Olympics, and I'm so excited about that. So Hopefully you guys are all doing really, really well. Maybe want to repeat last week's session in conjunction with this week's session. If you'd like to join me for race week mobility and foundation training on Wednesday morning, please just mention that in the show notes here or the comments, and I'll send you the link. If enough people do that, I'll just put the link out there for you, but I'll be doing another live session on Wednesday for my premium folks. And yeah, we got a pretty good jam going. Hopefully you have an amazing day. Bye, everybody.